Uh, Hello, namaskar everybody. The techniques that are going to be shared in this video are quite intense. I will try to make those as simple as possible. So this video might not be for beginners, might also not be for practicing astrologers, but this will be a brilliant video for professional astrologers. But however, I'll try to make those things as simple as possible, even layman could understand. So this was if you have already seen the thumbnail, then the prediction what I made to this chart was this person tried to attract the love of her life by using some sort of black magic in her past life. So because of that curse, she attracted such a person as a husband in this lifetime, where the husband is not interested to have any physical relationship with this lady. So how I made this prediction? Sorry, I'm getting quite I'm not in quite good health these days. Anyways, so whenever 1986 to 87 born native would approach me for consultation. By the way, this was a chart for 1986 born. Okay, 1986 born. I shall not reveal the full details of birth chart. Anyways, so whenever in the year of 1986-87, the natural sign of Libra, please see my mouse cursor, was hemmed in between malefics. Libra is house of marriage, isn't it? The natural 7th house. So the natural Libra was hemmed in between malefics. 9 or 8 out of 10 natives who would approach me for consultation, and if they were born in the 1986 to 87, the first thing I will ask or try to know about those natives is the marriage relationship. Please go and check this thing. Do not believe my words. Please go and check over your relatives, your friends, your colleagues. 1986 to 87 born natives, Libra was afflicted, was hemmed in between malefics. We call technically this as Pap Kartari. Another thing is, wherever the sign of Scorpio is placed, wherever there will be a long-term unsolvable problems. So natural Taurus Lagna people will have some or other sort of unsolvable issues in their marriage life. This is a blank chart prediction. Okay. And another thing is, please see the placement of Venus in this chart. Venus is naturally debilitated niche in the 6th house. So Venus, the natural karaka for marriage, happiness of marriage, prosperity, blissfulness of marriage, is in its niche, lowest position, debilitated position in the natural 6th house, and that too is hemmed in between malefics. And again on top of that, please see my mouse cursor. There is this placement of A8. We call technical this as pada of the 8th house. A8, 8th house pada, again in the 12th house. So as I said earlier, Scorpio sign, the natural A8, we please consider this as the 8th house energy, or the sign of Scorpio itself for understanding. Again in the 12th house. So again in the house of sexual pleasures, as you all know, 12th house is house of sexual pleasures. Pada of A8 being posited there again signifies some or other sort of problem. So let's again move to the another part. Please see this thing. There you will see things such as PK, PIK, AK, DK, BK, AMK, MK, GK. What are these things? These are the Chara Atma Karakas. We call this as Chara Karakas. You must have heard about stuffs called Atma Karaka, Amatya Karaka. So in this particular chart, Mars is Atma Karaka, Venus is Amatya Karaka, Jupiter is Bhatri Karaka, and so on. So DK, the natural Dhara Karaka, would again signify the qualities of spouse, the prosperity of spouse. Okay. Please see this chart. The DK is Mercury in this chart, isn't it? So whenever we have to analyze the marriage prospect, always see the Navamsa chart. So we are going to a next step in this analysis of this chart. So please listen very carefully from this step. Dharakaraka was Mercury in the chart. We already shown it. So in the D9 Navamsa chart, please see my mouse cursor over here. This one on the right side. Mercury was placed in the sign of Aries. Okay. And the same sign of Aries is placed in the 12th house of the Rashi chart. So Mercury will be naturally debilitated in the 12th house, isn't it? The way how Venus gets debilitated in the 6th house, Mercury will again get debilitated in the 12th house. Please see my mouse cursor. Mercury, the natural Dharakaraka, is placed in the sign of Aries, and where this particular sign of Aries is placed in the Rashi chart, this is a very new way to analyze chart. Okay, please listen very carefully. Dharakaraka Mercury is placed in the sign of Aries, that is in the Navamsa chart. Okay, and please see the sign of this same Aries, where this same Aries is placed in the Rashi chart. So in a way we can say bringing back this Aries sign to see where it falls in the Rashi chart, that is in the 12th house. So Dharakaraka Mercury is again debilitated. If I superimpose we call this technique as superimposing technique. So from each and every aspect, even if I made these things clear to you and tell you so many events to confirm the marriage part was not good, even a one day old astrologer could predict that some or other thing was fishy in the marriage life. But the thing was how I came to the conclusion of so frightening prediction to this person. So again we are going to the another step. The first step was very basic steps that we did from the only Rashi chart. Second step was superimposing the chart. Up to this thing I think we are clear. So let's move to the third one. Okay, so this technique is quite intense. Okay, please listen carefully. This is Taurus rising in the Rashi chart. Okay, this is Taurus rising in the Rashi chart, and this is Capricorn 10 number ka Rashi. Capricorn rising from the Navamsa chart. Okay, so to analyze the marriage prospect, the natural Lagna rising sign from the Navamsa chart is Saturn, because this is Capricorn rising. So now in the Rashi chart, please see the placement of Saturn in the Rashi chart, and please see the placement of this sign Capricorn from the in the Rashi chart also. So wherever the sign of Capricorn is placed in the Rashi chart and the sign of the Lord of the ascendant Lord, that is Saturn itself, is placed in the Rashi chart itself, again we can see the marriage prospects from those things also. Again both the sign of the ascendant Lord of the Navamsa, that is Saturn, is again in the sign of Mars, is again in the sign of Scorpio, long-term problem. So I was quite sure that marriage life was not that very fruitful, and because there was this pada of A8 also, so I was pretty sure that sexual related problems was there. But to come into the conclusion how the sexual part was not that good, I used another technique also. This thing might be quite heavy, might be quite intense to explain in the same video, but please let me tell you, the pada of A8 was placed in the D60 amsa of Sitala. Actually we do not have any option to see the D60 amsas of the pada A8, A4. We do not have any option to see in any of the software. I will come up with my another video to how to see, how to analyze, or how to calculate in hands of these things also. But for this video I will just let you know that this A8 was placed in the D60 amsa of Sitala. Sitala means quite cold, not warm. So whenever the Sitala, cold thing is again in the 12th house of marriage, 12th house of sexual pleasures, again the sexual part is not that good. Uh, why I predicted that she kind of used this thing of black magic from her past life to attract her husband was because wherever the sign of Scorpio is placed and the natural eighth house, some or other sort of black magic thing, some or other sort of occult thing is always involved. So the Navamsa Lord, this Navamsa Lord, Saturn, is placed in the seventh house, and this Saturn is again contributing to afflict this Venus and Libra. How? Because Ketu is here, Saturn is there. So to afflict this Venus, Saturn is also giving some contribution, and it is placed in the sign of Scorpio also. So Scorpio placement gives tendency to black magic thing. It was in the house of seventh house of marriage thing. So I predicted that she must have used some other sort of black magic. But the tricky part is there is no any tools or device where we can actually go to her past life and see whether she has done this karma or not. So what I asked to her was, did you have this fascination, or did you have this willingness inside your mind to play around with crystal balls or play around with black magic tantras and stuffs as such? For which she said, I don't know why, but since from my childhood I always have this habit of playing with crystal balls. She did not belong to any family where ancestors used to do tantra mantra thing and so on, but again she always has this fascination to be used to play around with crystal balls. So how this habit embedded in her heart, in her soul, of playing around with crystal balls, because she has brought that thing from the past life. And the Navamsa, please see my mouse cursor over the right, the ascendant sign of the Navamsa chart, Saturn. This Saturn's placement in the Rashi chart will determine a very lot of information regarding the marriage. So this Saturn was placed in the seventh house in the sign of Scorpio, and she has this habit of playing around crystal balls also. And her A8 Sitala was A8 was placed in the Rashi chart, that is itself affliction to the 12th house of sexual pleasures. And on top of that, this A8 was again linked with this Sitala. So from each and every aspect, her marriage life mostly was afflicted, and from marriage also sexual part was not that good. But what I predicted to her was, actually she came for conclusion that what should I do, should I leave this person, because the thing was the person, her husband, used to love her like anything. Divorce is not possible in this case. Why? Can you guys guess? Because Saturn, even though it is placed in the sign of Scorpio, it is in the seventh house of directional strength. So at least it is protecting the marriage. And another thing is, sorry, no matter Venus is placed in the sixth house, but again Venus is in the sign of Libra, so it is again protecting the house of marriage. So in this case, she would, I don't know, not being able to divorce is blessing or curse in this chart, but divorce will not happen. So what I said was, this was your karma from your past life, which you have inherited, which you have which this karma was being carried forward from your past life to this life. So please accept this fate. And after the consultation, I made her realize to accept her fate, and I guess she is in her mental peace. Her husband loves her like anything. So apart from sex also, the emotional part of loving each other and caring each other was always there. So I tried to assure her to focus more on the emotional part. So that's how I do analysis of this chart. The technique must have gone over the head to most of people also. If so, then please let me know in the comment section, and let me know what topics should I make, what videos should I make on upcoming topics. Please take care. Namaskar.